Halo Sobat Stema, nama saya Orly atau bisa juga dipanggil dengan panggilan Orly. Saat ini saya duduk di kelas 11 IB Stella Maris yang menggunakan program International Baccalaureate. Jadi podcast hari ini adalah tentang International Baccalaureate, a gateway to opportunities, dengan IB alumni kami, Marshall, yang adalah mahasiswa di Jerman di Munich University of Applied Sciences yang mengambil jurusan Automotive Engineering, dan selama program studi tersebut dia juga tetap menjalankan aktivitas lain yaitu hobi-hobinya, fotografi dan bersepeda. Jadi langsung saja kita sambut. Halo Marshall, how are you doing today?
Hello everyone, I'm doing good today. Thank you, Orly. How are you?
I'm good. So how is it life in Germany compared to Indonesia? How's the weather? How's the people there?
It's a pretty sensitive question to ask a German person about the weather, actually. But everything's fine. I mean, it's been a pleasant experience to be able to come here to Germany. And yeah, overall, I'm really grateful that I'm one of the lucky ones that's able to study abroad and just pursue my passion in Germany, and yeah, it's overall a really pleasant experience so far.
Yeah, it's a really great choice for you to go to Germany. I think it's a new experience. It's a really good experience. I've heard one time that it's quite hard to get a large circle of friends compared to being in Indonesia, maybe? Is it?
No, I mean, as time goes, I think one realizes that having a lot of friends is no longer a priority for me. And for me, it's all more about having a small circle of friends with the right type of people. And I think I have enough of those so far.
That's right. How about like the language there? When you first arrived in Germany, was it difficult for you to pronounce some German language?
Yes, of course. It's one of the difficulties that I faced the first time I came to Germany. Brief background from myself, maybe I learned German 6 months before my departure from Indonesia.
Yes, I've heard that. I heard your IGTV as well.
A relatively quick lesson of German, and I've already been warned by my teacher back then that I'm going to have some difficulties pronouncing or listening to German at first, but as time goes, I mean, it's all part of the process. I mean, as long as you practice and have a good heart and just continue pursuing what you enjoy doing, then I think things will work out the way you want it to. Yeah.
But are there like terms in German language that it wasn't covered when you were studying 6 months of intensive course?
Yeah, there are plenty of different words, and here in Germany, people have the hobby of actually combining different words that have like different meanings. For example, the word Schornsteinfeger. Schornstein is chimney, and Pfleger is just someone who takes care of the chimney, and they just combine two different words, and you can come up with really long words in German, and it's pretty complicated for someone like me who has no background in different languages. But yeah, with time, you just get used to those kind of things.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting, actually. Yeah. So you mentioned that you're doing automotive engineering. How did you choose that degree? Were you interested in it when you were in IB, or was it just you yourself?
That's a really good question. So, frankly speaking, it's just been a passion of mine. So, ever since automobiles have been a really great passion of mine, and I think after graduating from high school, the next logical choice would be to continue pursuing this goal or passion of mine would be to study automotive engineering. And when one thinks of the world's most prestigious cars, I think it's not so difficult to not think of Germany. And for that exact reason, I chose Germany as my place of study.
Is there a goal in life for this? You pursuing this, and then is there like you're gonna open a business or some sort?
So far, I think my current plan would be to gather some experience first working in Germany myself, and eventually going back to Indonesia and being with my family and making my own business is also a possibility. But yeah, I think it won't be happening in the foreseeable future yet, because yeah, I think being here and just gathering as much knowledge and experience as possible would be my main goal right now.
I'll definitely be waiting for that, for that business of yours. But going back to your university, what process had you have to go through when you tried to apply to university? Was there like a scholarship or a free tuition? Because I've heard a lot of news about German university that it provides free tuition.
Yep, that's true. So most of the governmental universities in Germany are tuition free. So it doesn't matter where you come from Germany or from anywhere else in the world, you don't have to pay a tuition fee except for one of the provinces in Germany. This is Baden-Württemberg. But otherwise, same as Munich, for example, I haven't been paying any tuition fee at all. So in terms of costs, all you have to cover is just the cost of a daily life and everything. You have to, like food, your house, and everything like that. And yeah, so speaking of the application process, it's actually relatively straightforward. And I did my applications through the official government website back then, known as Uni Assist. Although there are also several other universities that require you to apply directly to their own website. And once your application has been approved, and from the university, you get then a reply, and they send you an invitation for an entrance exam. And this invitation, you can use it to apply then for your study visa at the Embassy of Germany in Jakarta. And that's pretty much how I landed in Germany.
So related to your application process, was there like a benefit that you are an IB student? There must be some benefits that are useful for your application process, like maybe putting it into your writing essay or personal statement.
And there are actually two main benefits of being an IB diploma student who wants to study in Germany.
You've listed it already, okay.
Those are the first two things that come to mind. And the first one is that you don't need to translate your transcripts of your exams. So back then, when I was applying for university in Germany, I had friends who was also applying using the national exam certificates. And they had the trouble of trying to find a sworn translator to translate the transcripts because most of them are Indonesian. But with the IB diploma program and its transcripts, you don't actually need to translate them because the IB diploma is internationally recognized. And the second benefit that I got for being an IB student studying in Germany is that you don't need to actually visit the one-year obligated college that precedes the university itself. So after high school, you can go straight to university.
Oh, so you skip the college period?
You are allowed to actually skip this college period, but for me personally, I did not utilize this benefit because I think it's actually still a good chance for me to get acquainted with the surroundings and just give myself some time to adapt to the new place.
Yeah, adaptation is definitely one of the struggles at first, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
You've mentioned that there was like, you need to still pay for your living costs and food, such as that. Was it really high compared to Indonesia?
It depends on which city you're living in. Unfortunately, Munich is one of those cities that has which living cost is pretty high. To speak about numbers, I think you'd probably need around 700 euros per month. That is around 11-12 million rupiah per month. That is for your living costs, like your house, your insurance. So insurance is obligated here in Germany, and food and everything else that is like the fixed cost that you have to expend every month.
So, are there subjects that you took in IB that made it easier for you when you try to study automotive engineering in university?
Yeah, there have been plenty of subjects that has helped me find my way here. And speaking of the subjects that I took, it would be, I think, maths, physics, and ITGS. So those are the three subjects that play a strong role throughout my study. of course, it's self-explanatory that as a future engineer, you should be a master of the different mathematical and physical principles. And for the ITGS case, I think that subject has helped me get acquainted with the different technological advancements and also its ethical aspect, which is probably more important because it has helped me become a more responsible and reflective person overall. Yeah,
Could you elaborate more what you studied? Like maybe what happened in the higher level or the standard level in each subject?
So for example, in maths, I took maths in higher level. And yeah, IB higher level maths, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And they're like, what I like about the IB program is how it does not actually only focus on the grades and marks itself. Yes, they're important, but there's this personality development section that's often forgotten by most schools. And let's say math is not just about solving problems or finding what X is or Y or anything like that, but it's also more about independent thinking and solving real life problems through, for example, the assignments like the IAs and things like that. And same goes for physics. I mean, we in that subject, and this has helped me to become a better personality overall and not just someone who can solve questions, math questions and things like that.
Did you do like the IAs and EEs related to your engineering course?
I honestly, my maths IA was, I can't remember my maths IA. There was, back then it was, I remember what I did for my EE, that was for ITGS.
Oh, okay.
And it's about online bookings and flights and things like that. And I think it's pretty much what's been happening nowadays. I mean, for example, this semester, everything's been happening online. And back then I was scrutinizing the effects of online media and everything like that, that has been really playing a strong role through the modern world.
So for those of you who don't know what IAs and EEs are, an IA is basically an internal assessment in which you do for 2 years as well, EE as well, but then EE is a 4,000 word essay on a topic that is much more specific than an IA would be. So it would contain, for example, for sciences, it would contain more than 1 or 2 equations, while the IA would only contain like 1 experiment. So going back to Marshall, is there like an experience, pengalaman belajar program IB di Stella Maris yang masih diingat gitu?
I think one of the experiences that has been stuck in my mind and like stays as a good memory throughout the IB program would be the Group 4 projects.
Oh yes, I've heard a lot.
Yeah, the Group 4 project is basically research that you do outdoors. I mean, if you think of experiments, what first comes to mind is probably lab coats and being inside in rooms and test tubes and things like that.
But this is different.
Yeah, and what made the Group 4 project different is that we had the opportunity to explore nature and just actually do experiments where they come naturally and not just from some specimen or anything that's brought into the lab. And it's been a really good experience. I think we visited Bandung that time. It was a 3 or 4 day camp, and we did plenty of research, and at the same time we had a lot of fun too with my friends and teachers as well.
How long did it take for your Group 4 project, if you remember? Is there?
I think the experiments itself that we did on the site was around 2 or 3 days, but for the evaluation and everything like that, it cost us probably around 1 or 2 weeks afterwards. But yeah, it didn't feel like long because we were having fun, obviously.
Yes, definitely, because you guys were with your friends and yeah, some teachers, I guess.
Yeah. Aside from the Group 4 project, I'd say the POK Camp was also interesting. So the POK Camp is basically the Theory of Knowledge Camp, as it's abbreviated, and it's where we actually evaluate and discuss the different IB learners' profiles and try to mimic or illustrate the different kinds of profiles in like activities, group projects, and things like that. That was, I think, a 2-day camp at school, and we had to actually had the opportunity to sleep over in school with our friends, which is of course a lot of fun. We played a lot of games and did a lot of team building activities, and yeah, that was one of the highlights of my IB program.
But in relation to that, are there like any of your most favorite memories in the IB program last time? I know it was already very long, but like, are there any favorite memories besides those?
Besides those, I would say the internship week was also interesting. So we had the opportunity to work at a real company for a week or two. I think it was a week. And for my case, I had the opportunity to work at a friend's garage. It's a car garage. And this garage basically works together with the insurance company. And I had the chance to become a car mechanic for a week, which probably ignited my passion even more for cars. And made me where I am today. So it was really fun experience. I got plenty of hands-on experience with cars and talking with clients and everything like that. And I even dismantled and reconstructed a car together with a couple of friends. And yeah, it was a pretty fun experience. Yeah.
So that was really nice of you to still remember some of your favorite memories as well. Are there any advices for those who are taking IB this year and graduating it next year or still this year as well?
I'd say, keep hustling. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, as the earlier you make them, the better. And never let anyone tell you that you can't do something, because just don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone and experience some different things, because only when you try then you know. And if you're unsure about what you're gonna do, experiment, try out different things and listen to your heart. I mean, right now it's gonna hear like all those cliche advices you can read on the internet, but I've been living by those words, and I've been through life pretty well, I guess. And it's brought me where I am today. So yeah, I'm like the real proof that all those words actually work if you actually stick to them. Yeah, so I personally think that the IB diploma program in itself is just the obvious choice if you are, especially if you're planning to go outside or abroad to study, because it doesn't, as I said before, it doesn't focus on marks and grades on papers, but also your personality development that probably makes you a better person in general and ready to take on any challenges that might face you in the future.
So you mentioned about experiences more than the IB marks. Is it related to what you did for CAS, or are there any other experiences you gained throughout your IB program?
I think I might link that question to several universities in Germany, because here in Germany we actually encourage our students to be really independent, and like we inquire for information on ourselves, and that's probably what I've been experiencing throughout the IB program. So what we are used to there back then was that the teachers don't spoon feed you with information. So they encourage you to think independently. There are a lot of brainstorming sessions and just sessions where the teachers observe what you do and not actually just spoon feed you information, as I said before. And and in addition to that, there are a lot of assignments as well, and all those IAs, TEs, and projects as we mentioned before.
Yeah.
You just have to have enough self-discipline and awareness to be able to divide your time, your tasks, to be able to complete them in a proper manner.
So those of you who don't know what CAS is a creativity, activity, and service project for IB students that will make you able to do more things in your daily life, such as like doing a workout or becoming more healthy, and also making services to the community, making you know more and aware what is happening right now in the world, what you need to do to make an impact to the world. Starting small is definitely a good choice as well. And moving on, Marshall, I saw your Instagram. You do a lot of photography, and I saw a bit of maybe traveling. Was that one of your interests as well?
Yeah, that's actually also one of the reasons why I chose Munich as my place to study, because the Bayern province in Germany is surrounded by mountains and nature. As you can see, I've always been interested in photography itself, and as soon as I got to Germany and saw a lot of nature pictures, I've been interested in that, and since then I've been concentrating on those kind of pictures, because I think it's a really good choice as well, because on one side you get to pursue your passion, your hobby, and on the other side, when you take those kind of pictures, you also do you have to just do exercises as well. I mean, you get to enjoy the nature and just do some sports as well in the meantime, and I think it's a pretty good combination as well.
You mentioned about traveling as well. Do you have any places you can recommend to us in Germany?
I think there are plenty of places I'd recommend, and in this province itself, that is the Königssee. This is a lake in southern Germany. And there's Hallstatt, if you might have seen in postcards and that. There's just around a 2-hour train ride from Germany itself. And I think with every 1-hour train ride, you can get to a totally different place, say a lake, a mountain. It's just your choice what kind of place you'd like to visit in Germany. So it's a really beautiful place. And yeah, I mean, Italy and Switzerland is just probably 2 or 3 hours away by train. So you have plenty of choices.
Terima kasih banyak Marshall untuk datang pada podcast hari ini. Saya belajar banyak sekali tentang Germany dan juga tentang IB program yang sudah dilewati oleh Marshall, such as the EEs, the CAS that makes you able to do creative thinking and becoming more independent as well, and gaining those experience in IB that makes you able to apply it to your university life as well. So thank you so much, Marshall, for today, for joining us in our podcast. Thank you for the inspiration for all of us, especially the experiences you gain in IB, and also that it's not just about your grades, but it's the experiences that you gain with your friends, with your teachers, along with the CAS experience, the EE and IAs that made it easier for you in your university life.
Yep, thank you as well, Orly, for the opportunity for me to be able to share my thoughts and experiences with my juniors. It's been a blast talking to you, and yeah, I wish you all the best.
Are there any last advices that you want, maybe a quote, if you'd like to share?
Just keep hustling.
Okay. So that's all for now for the podcast series of International Baccalaureate, a gateway to opportunities. See you next time, Sobat Stema. Bye!